Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, where I'm going to be doing a review of the latest DC direct-to-DVD movie, Justice League War. I got the Blu-ray DVD combo pack. I bought it from Best Buy, and if you buy it from Best Buy, they have an exclusive combo where if you get the Blu-ray combo pack, then you also get a small figurine of the New 52 Superman right here. It's not a bad figure, except, you know, originally these figures that you get from Best Buy, you can move the arms a little and like the head, but you can't really do that with this one, mainly because of the cape and stuff. But it's a sort of a nice little thing to like put on your bookshelf or your desk, I suppose. That's probably the only reason why I would buy it from Best Buy. You can just get it anywhere. If you just want the movie and you don't care about the figure, then I say get it anywhere. Alright, but back to the movie, Justice League War. This is also the first DC animated movie that's adapted a story arc from the New 52. In this case, Justice League Origin, which was the first New 52 story arc. Story arc when the event began, which was showing us how the Justice League first came together. There are a few minor differences. Well, a big difference is that the lineup on this team, in this Justice League, is only one member different from the one we got in the comic, in that we still get Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, but instead of Aquaman, we now have Shazam. I really think that was done, that introducing Shazam as a founding member of the Justice League was mainly done because I think that may have been because DC's trying to try to get people interested in Shazam, fans, young and old, about this character, because they did do this, because Shazam has been involved with the Justice League title. He got his own co-feature in the Justice League comic, where it showed the origin of how Billy Batson gained the power of the Wizard and was able to turn into Shazam, and now we're getting that again. And also, when Forever Evil ends, Shazam is supposed to be joining the Justice League. So, you know, I think they're doing that just to kind of get people excited for that and get an interest in the character. And another thing that I know they want to do with Shazam, I remember Jeff Johns saying this in an interview with Newsarama, I believe. He said that he hoped to make Cyborg and Shazam like the new, have a friendship that's kind of like the way Booster Gold and Blue Beetle were. So that's what he wants to do with those two characters. And that shows a lot in this movie, where before Victor Stone's transformation to Cyborg, when he's leaving his football game, he does he runs into Billy Batson. You know, they kind of strike up a few things. They kind of like, you know, share a little bit of a camaraderie there. Then when we're in battle, where Victor is finally Cyborg and Billy's in Shazam, is Shazam, they both kind of get along while they're fighting. And then when at the climax of the battle, where Shazam is pretty much forced to turn back into Billy Batson, Cyborg is able to catch him as he's falling and also get him out of the way before anyone notices that it's Billy Batson. And he promises Billy that he's going to keep this secret that he's actually a kid from the rest of the league. Yeah, but back to the movie at hand. Pretty much the plot isn't but main plot-wise, it's not really that different from the comic. I mean, it's basically Darkseid's invading Earth. The heroes are now starting to unite so that they can stop him, and they defeat Darkseid, and at the end the world starts to embrace the metahumans and the Justice League. Now, this movie also did a good job which is something that I liked about the comic book too, was that they showed it's not just an origin story for the Justice League, but it's also an origin story for Cyborg, and I think they did a good job portraying that in the movie that they did in the comic. We have pretty much Victor Stone became Cyborg as a result of one of the mother boxes, and they did that. They did the same thing in the movie. They had Victor exposed to the mother box. It altered and severely damaged him, and then his father, Silas Stone, took him into Argus's red. Well, actually, it wasn't Argus. Silas is still at Star Labs, and they have the Red Room, and they took him in there, and they were able to attach some technology and stuff and turn him into Cyborg. And a lot of the dialogue that you hear in this movie is very similar to the dialogue, almost exactly the same lines that we heard in the comic book. I mean, it's not word for word adapted, but it is pretty close. I mean, I did hear some familiar lines when Batman and Green Lantern meet for the first time, where after they defeat the Parademon and evade the GCPD, they're talking in the Bat Sewer, and Green Lantern's like, "Wait, you're just a guy in a bat costume, aren't you?" And Batman's like, "Yep." And so yeah, I remember that moment from like the very first Justice League issue, and seeing that on screen was a real joy. There's also when Green Lantern does find out Batman's Bruce Wayne. He goes, "Who's Bruce Wayne?" But it's actually different in the movie because I don't want to give too much away about the movie, but there are differences, like I said, between it. And the movie does have some flaws, though. One of the things is that I know some characters were, I don't know, a little annoying. Like, I mean, Wonder Woman in the beginning, she's a warrior. I get that, but I don't know. At the beginning of the movie, I didn't really like Wonder Woman. I thought Wonder Woman was a little annoying and arrogant. Like, she was just taking out her sword at everyone who spoke to her, which was thought was a little odd. And then finally during the battle with the Parademons and Darkseid, I kind of started to understand Wonder Woman a bit more. Not that I'm bashing on the character or anything. It's just that in the beginning I didn't really get used to her. I really didn't like her at first, but then once the fighting started, I started to appreciate her. And Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, he's arrogant, he's cocky, but there were times where I thought he came off as a bit more of a smart ass. I know Hal's, and yeah, it's understandable why Hal's like this. Batman does note that he and Hal are very similar in that they're both normal people with special abilities. In Hal's case, a ring with pretty much gadgets. In this case, Hal's ring, which is pretty similar to Batman's utility belt in a way. I mean, granted, it runs on imagination, can do more things than the utility belt, but it is pretty similar in that sense. And he and Hal are still, and Batman just kind of comments that maybe it's just because Hal's a little nervous, but Hal is still a little chauvinist. But still, Hal Jordan in this movie, he's not bad. It's just that he did get a little annoying at times. Also, what I said earlier about DC trying to market Shazam, I think it's a good idea that they're trying to get this character out there. I think that obviously they're trying to promote Shazam. He's going to be in the Justice League soon. They're obviously doing that with this movie. I just think that the one thing they didn't cover was how Shazam got his powers. Now, really, I mean, yeah, Cyborg is the only one that gets an origin in this movie, but it's understandable because all the other heroes are pretty much big names. Like, everyone recognizes them. People are familiar with their backstories. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Lantern, Flash. Everyone knows them. They know how they got their powers and their backgrounds, but I don't think a lot of people are familiar with Shazam. They just know he's a boy who turns into a superpowered man. But the question is how that happens. I think that they skipped over that. I think that since they skipped over that, it is going to leave some people wondering like how it happened. And I think they could have at least covered that in like maybe a flashback or some little explanation about it. Oh, and also the no Aquaman thing. I was kind of on the fence about that because again, if they had Aquaman though, I mean, he's almost as popular as the other five, so he wouldn't have needed the origin story. But there's no Aquaman in this movie. All right, his role in the story is replaced by Shazam. However, though, and this is probably the only big spoiler I'm going to give away, but after the credits, we do get a post-credit scene where we have where it shows the ocean. We have a bunch of dead sea creatures because of Darkseid's actions, and suddenly we see an Atlantean sub sort of come up from the water, and it opens up, and we see Prince Orm or King Orm holding a dead body, and he says that it's the king of Atlantis, and he says, "Our king is dead. The surface dwellers will pay for this injustice." So obviously that's something that's going to lead into Thrones of Atlantis. However, though, I think that would have been a much better teaser if Aquaman was in the movie. Okay, because I mean, maybe they are going to use Thrones of Atlantis to introduce Aquaman, have him join the Justice League, but I just think that the scene would have been, that whole teaser would have been better if they had Aquaman in the movie. Then people could have gone, oh, hey, that guy must be familiar with Aquaman, man. Because Thrones of Atlantis wasn't just a Justice League story, it was also an Aquaman story. So, now, I really think that they should have at least, I mean, maybe Aquaman wouldn't have had a big role in this movie. He probably would have just shown up, joined with the others, and fought. But overall, I guess they probably want to save Aquaman for Thrones of Atlantis, which I can understand in a way. I really don't think, I mean, Aquaman's comic book has been very popular, but a lot of people aren't reading the comic book. They still think, I think people who don't read comics don't take Aquaman seriously, and so they're probably going to wait and use Thrones of Atlantis to, show why Aquaman is awesome, and that's going to be the story arc that will introduce Aquaman into this whole same universe as the Justice League War movie. I haven't really explored a lot of the special features on the Blu-ray though. Like most DC animated movies, you do get a sneak preview of the next DC movie, which will be Batman, which will be Son of Batman, which will introduce Damian Wayne. That looks good. I cannot wait for that. That coming out in May. It's gonna look sweet. I'm really excited for that movie. But this does have other features such as the Blu-ray comes with additional features like 4 other cartoons, and also some more behind the scenes stuff. There's even a special on here about Jim Lee, who's doing the artwork for Justice League, and he did the artwork for Justice League and everything. So a lot of good special features on the Blu-ray. I think the standard disc I'm pretty sure the standard disc only comes with the movie and the sneak preview to Son of Batman. I mean, those are really, you can buy any edition. Really, I don't really think it matters. If you want the extra features, then I would say get the Blu-ray combo. But if you don't, then just stick with the standard edition. Okay, so that's my review of Justice League War. Overall, I think it's a very good adaptation of the comic. I just wish that they could have, stayed a little more faithful in the sense of including Aquaman, or at least giving us a little more insight into Shazam, such as how he got his powers. But, overall, I would say I would recommend it to some people. So, yeah, overall, I'd say good movie, but it still has some flaws. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching my review of Justice League War. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't, please feel free to subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitter. My handle is the same name as my username, Spiderman1991. So yeah, thanks again for watching. See you later.